Hey, this is Coach Wheeler, and I wanted to give you today's tips and advice. And today's tip is to never give up. And if you never give up, you can't fail. So you might think, well, how does that work? Tell me how that works. Well, it's quite simple. If you never give up at something, you haven't yet finished. And if you haven't yet finished, it's not over. And if it's not over, you can't say whether you've achieved it, you're a success or a failure. You can't say that. So just keep going. And even if it takes you 10 years, 20 years, just keep going. You know, I'm 50 years old and there's still things I've not yet done. But I wouldn't consider myself a failure. You know, there's things I've failed at and I tried and I didn't achieve, but that's fine. I put them to bed and they don't interest me anymore. But something that you're passionate about, something that you really want to do, just keep going and use that passion to drive you. I'll give you there was a Zen master called Hakuin, and he had to do these koans. They're these paradoxical anecdotes that the Zen masters do for spiritual enlightenment. And he tried these for years and years and years, and he couldn't get them. So he had to think of a different way of doing it. And if you go to my overthinking video, I talk of a time limit on thinking and then doing it. Time limit on thinking, then doing it. You know, if you're an overthinker, it's more about overthinking, but the thinking and the doing leads to never giving up. You know, you just got to keep trying. And this Zen master decided that he wasn't getting anywhere. So, you know, the Japanese, they have these very strict rules, the samurais and all these things. So their codes of conduct are different to us in the West. But he decided to say, right, if I don't get this, he was so frustrated with it. If he said, I don't do it, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to give myself 7 days to do it. And then if I don't do it, I'm going to, out of honor, I'm going to kill myself because I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of that spiritual enlightenment. So he had this mantra, but it then focused his mind to his mind saying, right, you need to do this in 7 days. Or we're going to, you know, this is the end for us. Oh, master, Zen, you know, whatever. So anyway, he done it. He found this spiritual enlightenment. That then became his blueprint of how he thought, the thought process he gave him, the mindset change that he made, and then the doing. Within the 7 days, he done it. And he then became spiritually enlightened from all these paradoxical anecdotes and achieved his Zen master status. And now we call him a Zen master. You might not have heard of him, but it's a true story. And I'll give you something a little bit more close to me. I love boxing. And there was an American boxer called Vinny Pazienza. Look it up. It's recent. He was around in the 90s, and he had a car crash. He was a middleweight. He wasn't the greatestly skilled boxer, but his determination and his never say die attitude was amazing. It was inspirational. Even boxers with more skill would be like, man, this guy never gives up. You know, he's just crazy. And he had that reputation. Well, he had a car crash, terrible car crash, broke his neck. And the doctor said, you won't walk again, you definitely won't box again, you'll be lucky if you can walk. And laying in that hospital bed, he said to all the doctors and all the experts, said, you guys don't know me. He said, you do not know me. I will never, ever give up. I won't fail. I can't fail. And with that mindset, he believed that he would never fail. Anyway, there's a famous picture of him when he had a neck brace on. This thing that was strapped to his neck, and he had bolts and pins in to keep his head straight so his spine, his neck could refuse and they could mend his neck. And guess what? Not only did he walk again, the fucking nutter boxed again. He did it. He got to that point because he never gave up. He had that attitude that no, how long it took. And the pain, he said, listen, the pain that he went through was excruciating pain. It was unbearable. He said, you know, with that thing on, trying to skip and trying to run and do the things he could do, you know, with his arms, like his head was still, but he could do, you know, he could do rowing machines and stuff like that. And he did it. He said it was painful, it was difficult, it was hard. There were nights that he'd have cramps and he couldn't get up the next day. But no matter what small piece he could do, he just kept going. He kept trying. And the super successful people in life, whatever they're successful in, they never give up. Marriages that have lasted 50 years, they don't give up on each other. They keep going. Businesses that have been around since the dawn of time, they don't give up. They find ways to get through it. They don't sell out. They don't get, you know, artists that are still going now, bands that have been around since the 50s, the 60s, the 70s that are still going. You know, these artists that still, you know, like the Rolling Stones, they're still touring, they're still doing it. They do it because they love it, but they never give up. And when they first got their parts of success, I'm sure all of them have stories about how they just kept going, they just kept gigging, they just kept doing it. And Jay-Z, I think it was Jay-Z, no, it was Dr. Dre that said with his Beats, you know, his Beats headphones. He sold the Beats headphones, Beats by Dre. He's made lots of money and he's really successful. But he said, one thing you guys don't realize is that even without the money, even without the fame, even without the success, he said, I would still be making beats. That's what I love. I would still be doing it. The fact I have success is just luck. It's just what the universe gave me. It's just is what it is. I did something good that people liked. And success is a very personal thing. You know, I did some music with a friend of mine, and I couldn't consider myself very successful. Yeah, I didn't tour with Eminem. I didn't get signed by Dr. Dre. I didn't get $1 million contract, and I'm not world famous. But I was successful, you know, in the sense that I've got videos on YouTube. I did songs with people that were my heroes. You know, Master Ace was one of my heroes, and I did a song with him. And people bought my music that didn't know me. It wasn't just my mum that bought my record, you know what I mean? It was people from, I had people from Brazil, Canada, Finland, Russia, you know, all over Europe buy my records. And it was kind of like, you know, there's people in Africa that have got my music. A guy in Ghana has got my album, both my albums. And I'm like, you know, that to me is success, because I tried something, I achieved it, and then someone paid me money for my thing. Yeah, not millions, not thousands, but I did that. I remember writing the address to the guy in Russia who bought my, I don't even know his name. It was all like, the letters were all Russian alphabet, squares and backward R's and upside down, you know, it's like, but I copied it verbatim, you know, word for word, letter for letter, and then sent it to Russia. And it's like, and they paid me money for my music. It's like, to me, that's success. Now, in how you gauge success, but I never gave up. We did it. Me and my friend did it. We still have that music love. We still haven't finished. We're not currently doing anything, but we haven't finished yet. So we haven't failed. It's not over. And things that you're not interested in, you give up because you're not interested in it. So that's fine. It's not a failure. You just don't want to do it. So the point of this video is to never give up. To recap, is if you don't give up on something, you cannot fail. And if you keep trying, no matter how hard it is, remember why you started. Why did you start? You start because you wanted to. You start because it was important to you. So never give up on that. Keep doing it till your last breath. Till you die. Just keep doing it. Like that boxer, like that Zen master. They never gave up. They just kept doing it. And whatever they needed to do to get there, they did. You know? So that's today's tip. Never give up. Just keep trying, no matter how slow you're going. And even if you have 5 days off or 6 months off, you haven't given up. You're just having a break. Go back to it. And when you go back to it, you're starting from where you left off. So you're not starting from zero. Just keep going. Never give up. Have faith. Have belief in yourself. We can all do it. You know, I'm a simple guy and I've done it. I've done those things, you know, and I'm still doing things. There's still things I've not yet finished. You know, my coaching. I started this journey 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Longer if you talk about the times I had for actually wanting to do this years and years ago. But recently I started it. I've passed my qualifications. I'm now coaching people. I have a small practice, but it's still building. I'm not yet doing it full time. It's not yet my complete world, but I'm getting there slowly building. You know, this week I was doing some mental health first aider work, you know, and doing some stuff with companies and that. So it's building, it's growing, it's getting there, you know, but it takes time, and I haven't given up. So I haven't failed. I'm still doing it. I'm still there. Keep going. Always believe. Don't ever give up. Remember why you loved it. Remember why you started. Remember those things and don't lose that. I hope today's tip has helped. I hope it brings something for you. I hope there was something in there that sparks you. Leave a comment. Click the like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my Instagram page, tell a friend, and if you need any coaching, come and see me. We can cope with anything, any problem that you may have. We can overcome it. And I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.